5 o'clock. Let's go ahead and get started. We do have a quorum. We'll declare the meeting open.
He's ready to go.
I think we have a quorum.
Sorry.
That's all right. This time, I'll ask Councilman Steele if he'll lead us in the pledge and invocation.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let us pray. Dear Father, I want to thank you for this day, Lord. Just thank you for the honor and the privilege that we have to serve you here tonight, Lord, and that we have the ability to pray to you in open forum. We know that you hear our prayers. Lord, just watch over our decisions tonight and help them glorify you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
All right, at this time, we have the minutes from the regular city council meeting of May 7th. Everybody have an opportunity to review those.
Move to approve the minutes.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right. This time, we'll open public hearing. Linda, if you'll read B1 for us, please.
Ordinance 6120, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Sherman approving and adopting the Grayson County Thoroughfare Plan, providing for severability, providing for a repealer, providing for an effective date, finding that the meeting at which this ordinance is passed was noticed and is open to the public as required by law.
Okay. Thank you, Linda. Clint?
So as you know, we've been working with the county and the MPO on a countywide master thoroughfare plan. And in March, they presented a draft plan to us. They took into account our comments and some of the other communities' comments and have presented now the finalized plan and are asking for council approval and adoption. Clay Barnett is here, he's our MPO director, if y'all have any other further questions.
And I'd just like to add that the plan is almost virtually identical to what it was back in March for almost all the county. There was some comments up in Denison, one comment in Sherman, but for the most part, it's almost identical to what you saw back in March. Really want to thank the council for their participation on this project. As you recall, it's a $300,000 project. We received $80,000 from Grayson County, $40,000 from City of Sherman, and $20,000 for the City of Denison. So without your participation, this project would not be possible. So I want to thank you for that. With that, I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have.
Okay. Thank you, Clay. We may have some questions in a little bit. Is there anyone here to speak on this item this evening? Okay, none? All right, Linda, if you'll read B2 for us, please.
Ordinance 6121, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Sherman establishing maximum reasonable and prudent rates of speed on certain portions of US 82 in the corporate limits of Sherman, Grayson County, Texas, fixing penalties for violation thereof, declaring an emergency, providing for severability, providing for a repealer, finding that the meeting at which this ordinance is passed was noticed and is open to the public as required by law.
Okay. Thank you, Linda. Clint?
This past year, TxDOT completed a lane extension project on the US 82 headed east towards Bonham, and after that was complete, they did a state-required traffic study for all of 82 within the city limits of Sherman. That study came back, and we're looking at approval to change the proposed speed limit to 75 everywhere except approximately between Travis Street and Texoma Parkway. That corridor will only be 70 miles per hour.
Okay. Thank you, Clint. Is there anyone here to speak about this item this evening? Okay. No? This time we'll close the public hearing and consider the adoption of the ordinances. Council, do you have any questions on these items?
speed limit. I'm trying to read this map. So where it drops down to 70 now, it's going to go back up to 75, and the 70 will just be a smaller section around 75.
Yeah, existing, it's 70
Like from 1417
on the other side of, west
Okay.
of 1417 all the way in towards 75 is all currently 70 miles an hour. And then further east, it's actually 60 miles an hour.
Okay.
Make a motion to approve 6120 and 6121.
Second.
Okay, motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. This time, we're going to review the consent agenda. These items are considered to be routine and will be enacted in one motion without discussion unless a council member or citizen requests a specific item be discussed and voted on separately. The consent agenda includes items D3 and D4. Would anyone like to separate these items for any reason?
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to, for approval of the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Consent agenda is approved. Thank you. All right. Linda, if you'll read Resolution 6372 for us.
A resolution of the City Council of the City of Sherman authorizing the acceptance of a conveyance document from SSCGC Holdings LLC for the conveyance of a 100-foot wide strip of land and 2 right-of-way parcels east of FM 1417 in the City of Sherman, County of Grayson, State of Texas, and being more particularly described in the Exhibit A attached hereto and made a part hereof for all purposes. Finding that the meeting at which this resolution is passed was noticed and is open to the public as required by law.
Thank you, Linda. Clint?
This is a 100-foot strip of land that is just north of Baker Park. It's also adjacent to 2 developments that we're currently reviewing the plans on. One's an apartment complex. The other is a residential area. Right now, it's an electric easement. And this was brought to us by the developer to donate to us. And if accepted, it will be part of our trail system and part of that linear park hike and bike system that we're trying to accomplish.
Incidentally, it's south of Baker Park, right?
Yes, sorry.
Okay. Did you say it's south of Baker Park, just north of Pebblebrook?
It's somewhat where the solar farm is.
Yeah, just
To the south
just
of
south
it.
of that slightly.
It's the southern border of the southern. Yeah, so it falls in the big 645K, 100-foot easement.
Okay, council, any more questions?
Is that just gonna be a trail? Is it gonna be concrete? What's the?
Yeah, so we're trying to accumulate right-of-way for our hike and bike trails and other trails throughout the city. So this one is a perfect addition to that, really. So we have, as we work through our Parks Master Plan and Trail Master Plan, using this trail to connect to different parts of the city is going to be ideal. So,
Mr. Mayor, if I could, this is one of the things that, for those of you, this has been an issue in Sherman for years of trying to put a trail network together. One of the frustrating things is there's not a whole lot of power line easements in Sherman. This particular easement crisscrosses from Moore west of 1417 Heritage Parkway and goes quite a ways. And from this, you have north-south connectivity through the solar farm, will across Center Street, which will tie you up and tie you into other parts of the city. What I would just tell the council is, depending on what happens with Moore Road, with the high school going down there, our group would certainly consider dedicating right-of-ways along Moore. I just don't know what you guys are going to end up doing with Moore Road, if it's going to be finished out or what. But this is a 9-acre track, and I want to thank Councilman Teeman, the mayor, and the city manager for their help in this. This is the way our group, we're going to get a benefit out of it as well, because we have some land that abuts this it's just due west of Baker Lake and north of this, and we believe it's going to add value to our development. We'll be the only development in Sherman along a hike and bike trail, so it's a win-win for us. And I think from the city's perspective, it sets a tent stake in the ground to where those easements, 10 years ago, that southwest corner wasn't really happening yet, right? But now it's with the high school being there, and the fire station, things that are going on at Crossroads. I think you have an opportunity to have a trail network there, and we want to do anything we can to help out. So,
Well, Bill, I just to let you know, I appreciate everything you've done to work on this, and with the potential for tying in the 1417 with the new development happening there with the widening and the sidewalk potential there on the new 1417, getting all the way over to Baker. And it's a great addition to the parks, and I hope other developers will take this as you take your lead and do the same thing when they go in to develop these neighborhoods to look at these power line easements that may otherwise be in non-useful land. So appreciate you guys.
So will it actually cross over Moore Street? Is that what y'all saying?
No.
Across 1417. It dead ends at Moore,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
But we may be able to use Moore as the
Coming on to it?
coming on. Now, the easement itself doesn't cross 1417, but there are power line easements that we're looking at throughout town.
well, our portion of the easement doesn't. The easement
Right.
itself does. Yeah, we own when we purchased Stone Creek in 2012, December of 2012. Yeah, you get it now. Basically, that stretch from Moore Road to Baker is what we own. But where this goes, Councilman Holland, it dead ends basically into Payne Substation. But you may be aware that they are adding the Stone Creek substation to Payne, and there may be an opportunity with Encore to take that over in to that east of there. I mean, there's some pretty country over there, but this is the port we own. And again, I would just say, I think that you'll find the solar farm more than happy to consider their north-south connectivity. We've had conversations about that before they did it, and they were on board with that. So I think.
So the gap, I call it the gap, where Baker Lake is, the city already owns that, correct?
Right. It actually crosses through Baker Lake. It crosses the park, the southern part of the park.
Well, what I have doesn't, and it ends on both ends of Baker Lake, but we own that area in between.
Yes.
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 Yeah, that's city property.
Yeah,
Continual access.
That's what I wondered.
right.
You could tie into the trail network around the
Bridge
lake.
there or something at some point.
Right.
Somebody's got a bridge to sell us sooner or later.
All right,
Yeah.
very good.
Okay. Council, any more questions on this item?
I make a motion to approve 6372.
Okay. Motion. We got a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Linda, if you'll read 6373 for us, please.
A resolution of the City Council of the City of Sherman authorizing execution of a master interlocal purchasing agreement through the North Texas Share Program between the City of Sherman and the North Central Texas Council of Governments. Finding that the meeting at which this resolution is passed was noticed and is open to the public as required by law.
Thank you, Linda. Mary?
Yes, C2 and C3 are related. C2 is an interlocal agreement with the North Central Texas Council of Governments for favorable competitively bid pricing on the services in the contract for C3.
Okay. Council, any questions on this item?
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Linda, if you'll read 6374 for us, please.
A resolution of the City Council of the City of Sherman authorizing execution of a master agreement with engagement letter between the City of Sherman and Gabriel Roeder Smith and Company to perform actuarial consulting services under the master interlocal purchasing agreement between the City of Sherman and the North Central Texas Council of Governments through the North Texas Share Program. Finding that the meeting at which this resolution is passed was noticed and is open to the public as required by law.
Thank you. Mary?
Okay, this is the agreement we just referenced that will be under the interlocal. We have a new accounting standard. We have to put our whole liability for our retiree benefits on the balance sheet starting September 30th, 2018. So we have to have an update to evaluation we had last year. This is just our update. Next year we'll have a full valuation, and then we'll go every other year. So we kind of have a little, we have to do kind of something for 3 years in a row, and then we get to skip a year. This is the update valuation that will get us the information we need for the number we put on our balance sheet.
Council, any questions on this item?
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve as written.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, at this time, we'll receive a report from Tourism Main Street Director, Sarah McRae. Sarah?
Thank you guys for letting me talk to you today. It's about hot summer nights, so I'm sure you've probably exhausted you already by talking about this, but we want to make sure that everybody is aware of how these shows come to happen. So, yeah, I'm proud to say this is my third summer to get to plan Hot Summer Nights and Lights on the Lake. And while it's not new to the city, this has happened since 1995. But in 2016, it was really in need of some revamping and getting people excited about it again. Because when it goes on for that long, it's hard to keep the momentum, I suppose. But we brought in Overdrive Entertainment, and that's why I brought two bonus friends to help me talk about this exciting summer of music. And we'll welcome them up here in just a moment. But yeah, we we just want to stress how thankful we are to have the support of you guys and our mayor planning all of these exciting. We have a little pool of us that get together and we get so excited, and it's not just us. Like, I hear it from the community and through our city Facebook page. People talk about it all year long, and that's what they want to talk about most. And we have a lot of partners through businesses, local businesses that help support as well. So yeah, we're just really thankful to get to throw these shows and to get to bring the community together for these free events. And like, we kind of kick it off because you can come to Sherman and hear ours, and then of course our little neighbors to the north doing their show on Friday nights. You can go to Denison and then spend the weekend at the lake, and we really think of it as like a tourism weekend and a great opportunity for us to be thought of as like a hub for live music to come to. Who would have thought? Sherman, Texas. So I think what keeps us feeling like a small town when we keep growing so large is to keep these sweet small town kind of events and having them outside and downtown. It's just not everywhere gets to enjoy that. So we're really thankful that we get to continue it. And we're just going to kind of run through the lineup with you and show you where our head is at, like for all this diversity in the lineup and how we kind of get to the place we get to. We'll welcome up. This is Tip Jones, and I'll try not to call him Fuzzy. Jason has a real name, and people call him Fuzzy.
All right.
But yeah, I was about to say, yes, he has a real name. But yeah, so for June 7th, obviously these shows take place every Thursday in June and July on our municipal grounds lawn and gazebo. We have food trucks now, a bounce house for kiddos, of course, the regular hill that I slid down probably as a kid, and old-fashioned fun is still good. And yeah, we've just got a lot of neat things added, but we still have the same good stuff. And even this year, we have a brand new, exciting venture of adding an opener. So we get a chance to use and take advantage of our local talent. So we have them opening the show at 7, and then we'll have our big name acts coming on at 7:30. So my 90s fangirl dreams have come true with alternative act Fuel. So anyone around my age would probably get over the moon excited about this, but
we were pretty excited to have Fuel too. First of all, thank you guys for having us. We appreciate the opportunity to come talk to you. Yeah, Fuel was a big rock band in the late 90s, early 2000s, mid 2000s, a lot of great radio hits. You know, we see a lot of country shows all the time around here. We like to do some rock every once in a while, so we're really excited to kick off the series with that one. So.
And when we were kind of pairing them together with our local acts, ACTC, they're not an AC/DC cover band, believe it or not. It's Alex Cantrell and Betty. So they are opening the show, and they are so much fun to hear too.
They're gonna be a good
and we
fit.
really paired them to kind of match what you're going to see next, but not step on the toes of. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And then if you're just having so much fun after hot summer nights and you need a snack and a cold beverage, they're finishing up the show at Old Iron Post afterwards by doing another set. Not Fuel, but just our opener is going to play again at Old Iron Post.
A little
so.
after party type
Yeah,
setting,
yeah, and bring people
That's
to
a nice-
downtown, hang out longer, spend some dollars at our restaurants and boutiques and whatnot. So just tying them in. But so for the second week, 2 exciting weeks in a row, June 14th, we'll have Mark Chestnut.
Mark Chestnut, one of the biggest country artists of the 90s, still touring today, doing really well. Still selling lots of records, still filling a lot of seats in big venues. So many number ones. I mean, honestly, a 90-minute set of nothing but number one hits. Incredible country show. So for our traditional country fans, we got something for them too. So
I know we really hadn't touched as much on traditional country.
yeah, they'll see as we get through this lineup, we've got something for everybody. Really do.
And June 21st, we'll have Memphis Soul, and this is one of those big, lots of pieces, lots of moving parts, but Motown covers.
Big Motown band with girl backup singers, horn players. I mean, all the fun stuff. Yeah.
Oliver White's opening that show
Yeah.
too. Local guy that's got a lot of blues music.
Yeah.
And a lot of connections to the local community.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one too.
Yeah, and then June 28th, the last show that'll happen in June is Havana Energy. And this one's Bring Your Dancing Shoes. This is a salsa band.
This is it's the most popular Latin salsa band in all of Dallas. They play at Gloria's every Saturday night, which is a premier gig down there for a Dallas band like that. But yeah, we're going to be able to have some fun. A little bit of a flavor we don't always get. So yeah.
Yeah, we've kind of been looking for some of the acts that we were able to capture this year were some that we were, kind of dreaming of all the other years, but kind of found the right fit this summer. So.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited about that. And then the one I've probably heard the most about, and I feel ashamed to say I didn't know as much about him when we were starting this, but once we all started looking him up, we were like, man, the younger country crowd is just going nuts over Co Wetzel.
That kid has come up so quickly. That's why a lot of people didn't know who he was. I mean, Even Fuzz and I, we talked about it early on. We had heard the name, but literally like 30 days later, you're seeing all these things happen, 60 days later, and within 90 days of hearing his name for the first time, the kid's just breaking records, selling out huge venues, money's going up. I mean, just, we won't get into specifics, but he's already getting 3 times what we're paying him for this day. That's how fast he's coming up and how well he's doing. So that is really one that we got in on early. That's our crown jewel in the lineup, obviously. That will be our biggest crowd. We don't have any doubt.
Yeah,
So
speaking of, getting
we're really
in on-
excited to get
there
that one because
early.
everybody wants that guy. There's no days left to get pretty much, but yeah, we got one, so.
Bring your lawn chairs
Yeah.
early that week.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
Who's
really
opening
crowded.
that show?
Jared Mitchell Band.
Jared
is
Mitchell
on that
Band.
one. and of
Great
course,
He's a local
favorite.
Local
Yes.
favorite there, formerly Spur 503, and
Yeah.
now the Jared Mitchell Band, and so that's really good ties and a good opportunity for them too.
What's the date of that one?
July 12th.
July 12th. I'm-
Asking off early?
Yeah.
That day, huh?
Oh, they're all right here. They're all-
On July 19th, we'll have the Spasmatics, and this was probably one that I pushed for more than I
was
should
Sarah's
have.
baby.
But I'm so excited. They are so fun to watch. And if you think I'm too much, then maybe don't come to that show because they're already a little too much. But they have the whole.
They're the
outfits.
best 80s cover band that there is. I mean, they touch on everything 80s. All the costumes, all
Big
the great
hair.
songs. The big hair, neck braces, all kinds of fun stuff. They're going to be really the costumed up. It's a lot of fun. It's just a lot of fun characters in that band. 4 completely different characters, and they all sing totally different songs. And yeah, we get a whole big taste of the 80s on that one. So
Very interactive. You'll
Leg
see that a
warmers for
lot.
that one.
Yeah, it's like that one's gonna be fun. And it's the day after my birthday. so it's fun.
Timmy and the Naturals in on.
Yeah, it's like
on
local
Yeah,
friends that
another
everyone
local
loves
favorite on that one.
are
Yeah.
opening. So
Yeah, so everybody can wear their parachute pants on that.
that
one.
one's going to be another don't miss it kind of week. But
Yeah.
and then we wrap up the series with Asia on July 26th, featuring John Payne. And that's gonna be an
Finishing up strong on that one. Another great rock band. That was Chris, one of Mayor's favorites. You know,
Yeah.
we couldn't deny him that
You
one.
may
so-
know where this one came from. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like we're really-
yeah, a lot of great songs from those guys. We think we're finishing really strong, so.
We really are, and I know that this is more about Hot Summer Nights, but of course, we don't want to leave out Lights on the Lake.
Yeah.
Another big show that they help us catch these big fish, and really, they come with sometimes these riders that a regular person can't just call up and say, hey, can you come play in my hometown on Thursday? Usually it comes with a lot of strings and negotiations, and so these are the guys that kind of help us.
It does, but it takes the right client for us to be able to do those things too. And there are a lot of cities that approach us that want to do music series like these, but they're not willing to put the work in, to raise the funds, to put the people in place and work the hours that have to be worked and get it all done. And the city of Sherman has just been phenomenal to work with. I mean, we have had no limitations whatsoever. Anything we have needed to do the job, we have gotten it. And we're really grateful and we're honored to be a part of it.
Yeah, we use pretty much every department. So we're
You
really
bet.
thankful to
Hey,
have
y'all
all.
pull everybody together. It's
so
a
much
group
help.
effort, and it is amazing. It really
Yes,
is.
for Lights on the Lake on Tuesday, July 3rd, we will have 38 Special.
We can't wait for that one. And it gets bigger every year, and that's what we're going for, obviously. But I mean, again, 90 minutes of nothing but hits. I mean, everybody's going to know all those songs. Hold On Loosely, Back Where You Belonged, Rockin' Into the Night. I mean, it's going to be so much fun. We're really excited about that.
And of
one.
course, the same usual huge fireworks show brought to us
Yeah.
by Landmark Bank, because that is, of course, one of those things you can't miss. And we are, I think, one final, we pretty much booked the Air Force Band to play earlier in the day, just to welcome people into the park and keep
Yeah.
with patriotic themes. So I think that we happen to be a layover for them on the way to somewhere else. So we're excited to have them. I feel lucky that we got them at the right time too. So it just ties into the fun and the spirit of the day. So we're excited for this whole summer of music, and I think that's
great.
Anything else?
I think we're good.
For the full lineup, we can go to shermantx.org, and we'll have it there.
Going to be the best one yet.
Yeah.
Great.
Thank you, guys.
Tip, Fuzzy, thank you guys.
All right, it's going to be a fun summer.
Your parachute pants still fit
My MC Hammer Pants, yep, you bet.
you? MC Hammer?
Hey, break dancing has a different connotation at our age, right?
That's right.
Knee pads.
All right. Next item repair and rework the Luella 2 Woodbine well under an emergency designation. Mark?
Yes, sir. The Luella 2 Woodbine well, the pump has failed on that well. We would normally just go through the channels and get it repaired through the bidding process, but due to the fact that this is a major producer in our well system, due to the fact that summer onset is here, we expect water demands to increase, and so we want to be able to get that well up and running as soon as we can. Going through the bidding process would be a 3 to 4 month process, which doesn't help us in the summertime. So anyway, we've got quotes from 2 qualified vendors. Weisinger Incorporated has done work on many of city wells. They can do it hopefully get us back in service about 6 weeks. The other vendor was 120 days, which doesn't help us out a lot, and Weisinger was about $96,000 cheaper on their quote, and it fell within the range of what we estimated the cost should be. So to get it back in service in time for our peak summer demands, we're asking that we get an emergency designation and proceed with repairs.
Okay. Council, any questions? Heard.
Mark, I got one question for you. And I always like saving money, and so this quote came in quite a bit less than what we put out for on the bid request on some of those items. But my question is this: there's some, like one item we put out for $108,000, and it came back at like $50,000, and then on a pump motor came back about $30,000 less. Is there any kind of specs on quality of those parts, or are we getting the same bid from both bidders?
Yes, sir. Yes, we specified the pump motor and the pump we wanted to utilize. Both people are bidding the same equipment, and it is the equipment we want to put in the well. So
Yeah,
they were $50,000 less on a.
Yeah, there's a pretty wide discrepancy between things that you
Well,
would
I think-
imagine would be very similar since they're.
Well, I think one of the vendors has all the work they want, and it's kind of booked up, and that's, you're seeing that in the quote. And the other guy, Weisinger, to be honest with you, they've been very helpful in the past. When we need help, they come in and help us pretty regularly.
Yeah. Mr. Mayor, I move to approve Weisinger, get this thing fixed.
I'll second.
Motion second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. All right, we are down to citizen request. Is there anyone here to address the council this evening? No? Okay. Media questions? Okay. Council comments. Councilman Stevenson, I'm going to start with you this evening.
I'm going to withhold my comments this evening, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. I have no comments either.
And I have no comments.
I'm scared to say no comments, but I believe I will.
No comments.
No comment.
Okay, we have 3 announcements. I'd like to invite everyone to join us at Coffee with the Mayor on Friday, June 1st, beginning at 8 a.m. We'll be meeting at Guild Mortgage's beautiful downtown location this time around. I want to encourage everyone to come out and join us for coffee and fellowship. And as always, thanks to Karen Tooley and the folks at Downtown Sherman Now for putting the event together. And on Saturday, June 2nd, the Sherman Solid Waste Department will host a hazardous waste and electronics disposal day right here at City Hall. The event is free of charge for Sherman residents and will run from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Finally, we're getting really close to the launch of Hot Summer Nights 2018, as we'll be bringing in Fuel on Thursday, June 7th, to kick off a really exciting season of live music on the lawn. Make plans to join us for that great concert. Okay, since there's no executive session.
Motion.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you.